Your dog has been sitting at that door for the last 4 hours, not sleeping, not playing, just waiting. And the moment you walk in, he loses his mind. Tail spinning, body wiggling, jumping, whining, maybe even crying. You laugh it off. You think, he just loves me. But what if that reaction is actually a signal? One that tells you exactly what kind of bond you have with your dog and whether you've been responding to it correctly this entire time. Welcome to Canine Mind. If you're new here, subscribe right now, because what we're about to break down will permanently change the way you see your dog. 1. Your dog has already profiled you before you touch the door handle. Most owners think the greeting starts the moment they walk in. It doesn't. Your dog started reading you before you were even visible. And the science behind this is something most people never think about. Dogs have a sense of smell that is anywhere between 10,000 and 100,000 times more powerful than a human's. That's not a metaphor, that's anatomy. Inside your dog's nose, there are roughly 300 million olfactory receptors, compared to about 6 million in yours. The part of their brain dedicated to processing scent is proportionally 40 times larger than ours. What this means in practice is that when you pull into your street, when you walk up the path, when you're still 30 feet from the front door, your dog has already started building a full picture of where you've been, who you've been with, what you ate, and what emotional state you're in right now. A study published in the journal Learning and Behavior found that dogs can detect and distinguish between different human emotional states based on odor alone, specifically the chemical changes that occur in sweat when we experience fear, stress, or happiness. So when you come home after a brutal day at work, jaw tight, shoulders up, your dog isn't guessing how you feel. They already know. And here's where it gets interesting. Their behavior at the door isn't random. It's calibrated to what they've already figured out about you before you arrived. Some dogs will ramp up their energy to try to break your tension. Others will tone down and stay close to the ground, approaching carefully, reading every micro-expression on your face. Both responses are intentional. Both are a form of communication. Your dog is doing something right now that most humans fail at in daily life. They're actually paying attention, not to what you say, but to what you are in that moment. But here's the part I really want you to sit with. That door isn't just where they greet you. There's a reason, a very specific, deeply rooted reason why your dog positions themselves at that exact spot every single day. And I'll get to it later in this video. When you hear the explanation, it's going to reframe everything. 2. That frantic sniffing when you walk in is not what you think it is. The second your dog makes contact with you at the door, you've probably noticed it. They bury their nose in your shoes, your legs, your hands, your bag. Most people think this is just their dog being weird or overly curious. Some people even try to stop it because it feels a little rude. Don't stop it. Because what your dog is doing in those first 30 seconds of contact is one of the most sophisticated information-gathering behaviors in the entire animal kingdom. Every place you went today has a chemical signature. Every person you talked to left a trace on your clothing. If you walked past a restaurant, a park, another dog, a cat, all of that is layered onto you like a map of your entire day. Your dog is reading that map, not casually, methodically. Researchers at the University of Florida studying canine olfactory processing found that dogs process familiar and unfamiliar scents in fundamentally different ways. When a dog detects a known scent mixed with unfamiliar ones, exactly what happens when you come home after a full day out, they engage in extended scent investigation, cross-referencing what they're detecting against stored memory. In plain terms, your dog is running a comparison check. Who were you with? Did you touch another dog? Did something unusual happen? Are you still you? Now, if you've ever come home after spending time with someone else's dog, you've probably noticed the sniffing session gets longer, more focused, almost obsessive. That's not jealousy, or at least not exactly. What's happening is that your dog's investigation has flagged something that doesn't fit the usual pattern, and they're working overtime to process it. And after all that sniffing, after they've confirmed who you are, where you've been, and that you're home, many dogs will rub against you, press their body into your legs, or lean into your hands. That's not incidental. Dogs have scent glands around their face, ears, and base of the tail, and that physical contact is them layering their own chemical signature back onto you. You went out into the world and picked up foreign information. Now they're recalibrating you back to home. This is connection at a biological level, and you've been walking right past it thinking it was just a funny sniffing habit. Keep watching, because in a few minutes, I'm going to tell you something about the first 10 seconds of that reunion that might make you feel a little guilty, but also give you something incredibly simple you can do right now to fix it. 3. Some of those greetings are not about love. They're about business. All right, I know this one is going to sting a little, but if you care about understanding your dog honestly, you need to hear it. Not every wild, spinning, barking welcome you get at the door is your dog expressing how much they missed you. Sometimes, and this is more common than owners want to admit, that greeting is a presentation of demands, and the difference matters more than you think. Here's how you tell them apart. A dog who missed you will greet you and then stay near you. They'll follow you into the next room. They'll lean against you. They'll keep making soft eye contact for the first few minutes. The energy gradually settles, but the proximity stays. That's attachment. That's the real thing. A dog who has an agenda will greet you with maximum energy and then immediately start directing the interaction. They run toward the kitchen and look back at you. They go to the place where you keep their leash and sit there pointedly. They bring you a toy and shove it into your hands before you've even put your bag down. They may even lead you down the hallway with purpose. Both behaviors involve excitement. Both involve movement.
The difference is in what happens right after the initial burst. Do they stay with you, or do they redirect you somewhere? Research from the University of Porto studying the communicative behaviors of domestic dogs found that dogs are capable of what scientists call referential signaling, meaning they can look at a person, look at a specific object or location, and then look back at the person again in a deliberate attempt to communicate about that specific thing. It's not random. It's intentional pointing. So when your dog greets you at the door and then walks you to the backyard, they're not being sweet. They need to go to the bathroom, and they've been holding it. When they lead you to the food bowl, they've calculated that your arrival means feeding time. When they bring you the ball, they've made a decision that today's activity agenda starts the moment you're through the door. None of this means they don't love you, but it means that some of what you've been reading as pure devotion is actually negotiation. The question is, have you been responding correctly? Have you been rewarding the demand or the connection? Because that distinction shapes your dog's behavior over time in ways that are hard to reverse once they're established. Stay with me, because what's coming in the next section will explain exactly why your dog can time your arrival down to the minute and what happens to them emotionally when you're late. 4. Your dog has memorized your schedule more precisely than you have. There's a moment that almost every dog owner has experienced but never fully understood. You're still in your car, still a block away, and somehow when you walk in, your dog is already there, already waiting.
Already positioned at the door as if they've known for the last 20 minutes that you are coming. Most people chalk this up to hearing. And yes, your dog's hearing plays a role. Dogs can detect frequencies between 67 Hz and 45,000 Hz, well beyond the upper limit of human hearing. They've cataloged the exact pitch of your car engine, the specific rhythm of your footsteps, even the sound your keys make when you reach into your pocket. These are not interchangeable with other sounds. They've been filed and stored. But the real answer goes deeper than that, and it comes down to something called circadian timing, combined with what behavioral scientists refer to as episodic-like memory. A study published in Animal Cognition found that dogs show a measurable increase in anticipatory behavior, pacing, sitting by the door, increased alertness, that begins well before their owner's typical arrival time, not triggered by sound, not triggered by smell, triggered by time. Dogs can track the passage of time with striking accuracy. Their internal clock, regulated through circadian rhythms and hormonal cycles, allows them to build temporal associations. If you come home every day between 5:30 and 6, your dog's nervous system starts preparing for your arrival around 5:15. Their cortisol shifts, their alertness increases, they position themselves. And here's the part that should stop you for a moment. When you're late, when you break that pattern, your dog doesn't simply wait a little longer. They enter a low-grade state of anxiety. Studies measuring heart rate variability and cortisol levels in dogs left alone past their expected reunion time show a measurable physiological stress response. They're not being dramatic.
Their body is genuinely responding to the break in pattern as a potential threat signal. So when you come home 45 minutes late and your dog's greeting is louder, more frantic, harder to calm down, that's not overdramatic excitement. That's a nervous system finally releasing tension that has been building since the moment you were supposed to be there. Your dog has been thinking about you, tracking you, waiting for you, long before you thought to come home. And knowing that, really knowing it, is going to change how you walk through that door. Which brings me to the next point, the one that makes most owners feel a little uncomfortable when they hear it. 5. What you do in the first 10 seconds decides everything about that moment. Be honest with yourself for a second. What's your actual routine when you walk through the door? You probably put your bag down, you take off your shoes, you check your phone, maybe you call out to someone else in the house, maybe you head straight to the kitchen. And your dog is right there, spinning, jumping, trying to make contact, trying to get your attention, and you sort of half acknowledge them while you do everything else. I want you to understand what that moment looks like from your dog's perspective. They have spent hours anticipating your return. Their body chemistry has been shifting in preparation. They've positioned themselves at the door. And in the first 10 seconds, all that built-up energy, all that anticipation is looking for somewhere to land. When you walk past them without engaging, even briefly, even gently, that energy doesn't disappear.
It either escalates into the hyperactive, jumping, impossible-to-calm behavior that frustrates so many owners, or over time, it does something quieter and more damaging. It teaches your dog that the greeting doesn't lead anywhere, that the effort isn't worth it. Research from the University of Veterinary Medicine in Vienna found that the quality of the reunion interaction between dogs and their owners has a direct impact on the dog's stress regulation. Dogs who received attentive, calm acknowledgement from their owners upon return showed faster normalization of heart rate and cortisol levels compared to dogs who were largely ignored or whose greeting was immediately suppressed. The greeting is not just emotional, it's physiological. Your dog needs that moment to close the loop on the separation, to confirm that you're back, that things are okay, that the pattern has held. And here's what you actually need to do. It's almost embarrassingly simple. 10 seconds. Crouch down if you can. Get to their level. Don't match their energy with big movements and a loud voice. That just escalates them. Instead, slow yourself down. Let them come to you. Let them sniff. Let them press against you. Let them do their ritual. Give them calm, quiet acknowledgement. Eye contact. A slow, deliberate touch. That's it. 10 seconds of actual presence, and your dog's nervous system begins to settle. You don't have to make a huge production out of it. You just have to not skip it. Because what happens at that door every day, it's not a habit, it's not a routine, it's one of the most important conversations you're having with your dog, and most people are ending that conversation before it starts. 6. The door is not random. And what your dog is really telling you there will change how you see all of it. Remember at the beginning of this video, I told you there's a specific reason why your dog chooses the door, and not the couch, not the bedroom, not the middle of the living room, and that the reason goes deeper than you'd expect. Here it is. To your dog, the front door is the most significant location in their entire territory. It is the threshold between the known and the unknown. Every noise from outside enters through that point. Every unfamiliar smell filters through it. Every potential threat approaches from that direction. Your dog has spent every hour you were gone monitoring that boundary. This isn't a metaphor, it's a deeply embedded behavioral pattern that traces back to their evolutionary roots. Before dogs became domestic companions, their survival depended on understanding and protecting the borders of their territory. The entrance to a den, the point of greatest vulnerability, was the most important piece of real estate in their world. And your dog still operates on that wiring. Even your perfectly pampered, never been outside alone dog. The door matters. It registers at a level deeper than conscious thought. So when your dog positions themselves at the door to wait for you, they're not simply choosing a convenient spot. They're standing at the most exposed, most monitored, most important location in their environment. And they're choosing to be there because you are the thing that makes that spot feel safe. Research on canine social attachment, particularly the work done by Dr. Juliana Kaminsky and colleagues studying dog-owner bonding, describes how dogs form what behavioral scientists call a secure base relationship with their primary caregivers. The concept was originally developed to describe infant caregiver attachment in humans. When the secure figure is present, stress responses diminish, exploration and confidence increase. When the figure disappears, anxiety spikes. Dogs display this same pattern. When you leave, your dog's secure base leaves with you. The door becomes an anxiety point, the spot where you disappeared and where they're waiting for you to come back. And when you walk through it, something shifts in their body. Cortisol drops, heart rate normalizes, the nervous system exhales. You are your dog's emotional anchor. You are the reason the world feels manageable to them. And every single day, they communicate that to you in the most direct way they know how, by being at the door when you get home, waiting for the one thing that makes their day make sense. So tomorrow, when you pull into your driveway, when you hear them on the other side before you even touch the handle, know what you're about to walk into. Not a dog who wants something from you, a dog whose entire emotional world just got better because you showed up. That's not just loyalty. That's love with a nervous system behind it. And it's been happening every single day. You just didn't know what you were looking at. Now you do. If this video changed the way you see your dog, share it with someone who has one. And if you want to keep going deeper into the science of how your dog thinks, feels, and communicates, hit subscribe. We go there every week on Canine.